This week on Coffin Fodder, we're taking you down memory lane via Nostalgia Town as we sit down to discuss the gateway horror that got us into this genre in the first place.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
I like to dissect girls.
This is God.
We have such sights to show you.
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
I see dead red.
Even in hell. Oh, yes. Oh, no tears, please.
They're here.
Here's Johnny.
Hello and welcome to episode 60 of Coffin Fodder. I am your very afraid of the dark host, Mike Warby, and I am joined by the man whose steak got hard watching Buffy, Mr. Kyle Mickleborough.
It's not the only thing.
And that gentleman who's been freaked since he was a wee child in the womb, Mr. Brady Silger. Hello! And this week we are here to talk about gateway horror. This is our next conversational episode. So yay for us. We didn't have to watch anything. We just had to turn our brains on a little bit. More of a challenge sometimes.
That was a task.
Yeah.
That was a task.
But yeah, we're going to tell you how we got into horror, what slowly trickled us into, being three guys that would do a podcast about a horror.
Desperation.
Yes. What do? Well, I'm going to start us in sort of a strange spot because this was like the first show that I watched as a kid that kind of gave me the inclination that stories can end with the bad guys winning or that the good guys not fully winning. And that's Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, God. Good choice.
That's where it started. Because, and that's not a horror show, but it's a deeply dark and unsettling show.
Yeah.
Especially for like a 7-year-old to be watching back in the... Because like back in the 90s, that was my... Yeah. Like back in the 90s, every cartoon was like episodic. Here's the conflict of the episode.
Yeah.
Good guys win, bad guys lose.
Yeah.
All the pieces are reset, and we're going to do it again next week.
It was a huge show for me as a kid, and I've gone back as an adult and rewatched some of those old Batman episodes, and the themes that are in those episodes are so continuously well above the age that show was marketed to. There's some deep themes, some dark themes, and even beyond that show stands out because the art for that show is all done on black background first, and then colored after that, as opposed to doing it on white and then doing it.
I think I heard that one.
Yeah, so that's what gives it that gritty noir aspect to it. Fuck, that show kicks ass. What a great way to start this convo.
Yeah. Also, like all of Batman's villains are kind of horror monsters, anyways, for the most part.
Well, yeah, and they're mostly just mentally ill weirdos.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's a weird theory that someone came up with that Bruce Wayne's actually in a mental institution, and all the villains are just like
I think they ran.
people that work for
Manifestations.
Yeah, so like the Joker's his doctor, and
I think they ran an arc of the comics that touched on that.
I think they
They've
did.
done that. They've done that on a few different shows. I remember Smallville pulled that. Buffy pulled that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a couple of really key episodes that I remember being very unnerved by. One was Feet of Clay.
That's
Clayface
yes, sir.
episode.
Yes, sir.
All
That's
the body
first
horror
one.
transformations and shit.
I remember thinking that was the shit when I was a
I
kid.
was like, holy
Uh-huh.
fuck.
I've never forgotten that.
Yeah, that Feet of Clay, the way the Feet of Clay episode was, the Heart of Ice.
Yeah, that's the other big one. And those are emotional episodes too, on top of being Feet of Clay is spooky as hell.
Yeah, he's basically like, he is. I mean, it's not that much of a stretch that the new Clayface movie that's coming out in October is like a horror movie.
Yeah.
And it's coming out in October.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's basically a horror film.
And even beyond that, just Batman as a superhero. And this is not a Batman episode, but Batman as a superhero is a much darker superhero, right? Or not even a superhero, just a hero. But
Well,
he's all rooted in the idea of fear.
and the Tim Burton ones especially really took the character back to that dark.
Yeah.
Even though there's some really silly
It's
ass
goofy.
shit in those movies.
But it's still Tim
Like,
Burton noir.
Catwoman falling off the building and plummeting like 40 stories, and then the cats are like licking the blood off her and stuff. Like,
And then that's what brings her back to life.
yeah, and like
Yeah.
and like Oswald Cobblepot being thrown in the river by his parents as a kid.
Well,
It's
even
some
the whole opening is just
dark,
a
nasty
janky
shit.
a janky circus opening. Like it's weird Tim Burton stuff, but
Yeah.
yes, it's steeped in that dark stuff.
Yeah, and then I guess the other thing I wanted to mention about Batman that I remember really finding unnerving was there's the first Riddler episode, I think it was.
Yeah.
Is it ends with it's like the Riddler got fired from his company and his boss took credit for his like fucking invention and this and that. And that's the first episode is him trying to get revenge on his boss.
Yeah.
And he torments him, and then Robin or some other character is asking like Batman at the end, like, since he's so rich and now that the Riddler's gone, he's going to be fine, right? And then the episode ends with the guy shaking as he checks all his locks and all his windows and stuff. And he's like, all the money in the world can't buy a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts the credits. And I was like,
Yeah, that's solid shit. Yeah, that cartoon was hitting so far above its weight class. It's nuts.
Everyone talks about the Spider-Man cartoon, which was a great cartoon.
I was mad.
Batman was a league of its own.
Yeah.
Like all the story, like I know a lot of the stories came from comics, but they also did some of their own stuff. But just how they did, like Bruce Timm did a fucking phenomenal job.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Conroy, but the only Batman in my opinion.
The perfect Batman.
Perfect Batman.
He actually got to do a live action version of Bruce Wayne on The Flash when they did a whole crossover, but he doesn't wear the cowl. He's just in like a robotic walking suit because Bane broke his back.
Nice.
But it's Kevin Conroy. You can't be mad at it. He does the voice too. It's
Don't do the voice.
Yeah, no, there's cartoons like that, but for me as a child, yes, I was watching shows like that, but I grew up on a farm, so when they had, the 4 channels if you count the French one, and so when I was a kid staying up late to watch TV, what was coming on the channels was things like Tales from the Crypt.
Nice.
Alfred Hitchcock would come on late at night.
Good
So
one.
I was 6, 7, 8 years old watching some of that stuff down in the basement of the farmhouse, and that's also what I grew up on watching. And so seeing some of those old episodes and then knowing how influential they were over time, like seeing the Gremlin on the Plane episode of Alfred Hitchcock and seeing some of the cool the Billy Zane movie. What's that one?
Best Billy Zane movie.
I remember seeing that when I was younger, and that's definitely some of those things are what got me into horror. And then even being a slightly older kid watching the Tales from the Crypt, the animated show.
Oh,
was
I
also
love
a ton
that
of fun.
Yeah, Tales from the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah,
I had it
that's
on my
my
list too
Crypt Keeper.
because
Yeah.
that was that's something like I was kind of a timid kid.
Yeah.
Like I was easily spooked.
Mm.
I had like a
Overactive imagination as a child.
very, very overactive imagination.
Likewise.
That's exactly what it was.
Likewise.
So I could things became very scary. in my
Every
head,
corner had a
even when like
monster.
nothing was happening.
Yeah.
Just the suspense and the
Yeah.
music and stuff could make me really like,
I'll never forget the fear of running upstairs in the dark.
relatable, man.
Yeah.
Hashtag relatable content. You
Absolutely.
turn the light off and then you go
You're done.
straight up the stairs.
Which is so funny because really, the kid's scared running away from the dark. If you were an adult watching your kid go on all fours scrambling up the stairs, it'd probably scare the shit out of you too. So it's funny to think of those things from the flip side once in a while, but
yeah.
yeah, absolutely, I was that kid. Every dark corner was a threat.
I didn't even think of that though. You mentioned Alfred Hitchcock, and are you talking about the 80s series?
Yeah,
that was the one. Yeah, I watched a
Yep.
lot of that too.
Me too.
They used to show it, I think, at lunch or right after school a lot of the time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I think it was on like 5 days a week even.
I'm
It
not
was, like,
sure.
syndicated.
For me, at the time at least, it was something that would come on quite late at night, although I was young, so realistically, I don't know how late, but I know I used to stay up pretty late on the weekends, 10, 11, 12 at night, so I'd catch all these TV shows I wasn't supposed to be watching.
Speaking of shows where the bad guys win, like a lot of the time.
Yeah, they have a bad twist at the end, almost all of them. So that was so cool to me, being a child and being shoved Disney and fairy tale princesses and everything works out in the end, and then being able to watch shit like that sometimes where it's complete opposite. Man, I loved that stuff when I was
It made you sorry with the Alfred Hitchcock TV show. Was it just them redoing movies that he did as serials?
Mostly it was just I think it was original stories, and some of them were just remakes of the old episodes for the original series.
Okay.
Like the old black and white one from the 60s.
Yes, that's the one I know.
Yeah.
I didn't know they did a kind of redo of it.
Yeah.
I got to see both. Both of those were on the telly. So I did watch a lot of the old black and white as well and loved that shit, but I also got to see some of the newer stuff too. Wait, newer stuff for Alfred Hitchcock? I only remember the black and white.
Oh, so you weren't watching the 80s remake
I
series?
don't know. Maybe I was. Maybe both. Who knows?
Because that was the one I watched was in color. That's
Yeah.
your big giveaway.
Yeah.
The old one is all black and white.
Well, I remember both.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
Was that before they redid the Twilight Zone, or was that after the Twilight?
It was same time period.
Right in
So
the
one of those shows probably basically inspired the other, and then they started redoing Outer Limits as well.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Some of those other shows were being redone as well.
Right, because right around that same time, growing up for our age is X-Files, is Outer Limits, is Tales of the Dark, or
Tales from the
Afraid of the Dark.
Are you afraid of the dark? Oh, I was thinking Tales from the Dark Side.
Yeah, it was all that
Keith
shit.
David at the end of that movie. We're going to hell, motherfucker!
Yeah.
So Keith David is the devil.
Oh.
Yeah, amazing.
Goosebumps. Goosebumps is what got me kind of into horror, even though I watched a lot of horror movies before that. But that's what got me into being scared of the macabre.
I started with the books. Yeah, I started with the books, and I read probably the first 40 of those books.
I read a lot of Goosebumps books. I also had older cousins, the same older cousins passing me all the horror movies I shouldn't have been watching. Were passing down Stephen King books. So I got to secondhand read a lot of those as a young lad.
What was your first?
My first one might have been, I remember reading Tommyknockers, one of the biggest ones. I remember Tommyknockers. There was a couple that he wrote under a pseudonym. Is it Bachman?
Richard Bachman.
Yeah. There was a couple under there. I can't remember the names of them that I read early on as well. There's the collection one, the
Skeleton Crew?
Yeah, Skeleton Crew. There was also, I remember watching one on, was there a movie of Skeleton Crew as well?
I don't know.
Or the Cat's Eye or
There's
something?
I think one or two of the stories from Skeleton Crew became movies.
What's the graveyard
from Skeleton Crew?
Yeah, what's the Graveyard Shift? That's another one.
That's a good movie.
That's another one, yeah. So all of those were a big part of my early years. Probably shouldn't have been, but hey, here we are.
Skeleton Crew contains like one of the most disturbing stories I've ever read.
Which one?
One where the guy, the surgeon who's stealing the medical heroin, and his plane crash lands on the island.
Yeah,
and he starts using the heroin to perform operations on himself, so he can eat himself. To survive.
Yeah, to numb himself out and start taking chunks out.
Yeah, and start eating himself. It's that's one of the most
good one.
fucked up fucking things I ever read.
Yeah,
I want to see that as a movie.
King has often said how much he loves writing short horror stories because he can pack so much punch into such a short time.
Yeah,
and some of his collections are some of his best work. He's got some solid short stories.
Yeah,
in those couple collections he's put out, they're fucking amazing.
Well, I remember later he put out a collection, Full Dark No Stars.
Yes,
I think was the one.
I have that as well.
And that was the one that had one of the stories was like inspired by the BTK killer.
Oh, cool!
Because it's the wife finding out her husband is the
serial killer.
Is a serial killer.
And she's collecting all the clues while he's doing it.
Yeah, and that's what that was inspired by. Was
okay.
He saw an interview with the BTK killer's wife or whatever, talking about the experience of finding out her husband was a serial killer.
Oh yeah,
because it just looked like another normal family, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, cool fucking story. Anyway, but I want to go back to you mentioned X-Files.
Yeah.
Ooh, did the X-Files scare the piss out of me as a kid?
Me too, dude. Me too. I couldn't watch the theme song. I was terrified of the theme song more than the actual show.
Because the theme song was
creepy as shit.
It had this foreboding. Just hearing it,
that's it.
Would kind of make the goosebumps stand up on your skin.
It would. It was like as a kid, it was like you'd hear that sound coming, and you knew you were about to have bad nightmares.
Yeah, something scary is happening tonight.
I'll never forget. Sorry, Brady. I know you're chomping at the bit. I'll never forget the episode of the X-Files where they're in a forest and the bugs are killing people, wrapping them up in webs and kind of just devouring them. Anyway, there's a scene in that episode where they come through the vents of a car and attack, and basically they cocoon Mulder and Scully. I was scared of bugs coming through the vents on cars for the rest of my fucking life. I swear to God. Anytime I saw like a wasp outside, I was like, "Fuck the vents!"
When I was little, me and my mom would watch X-Files together, and I couldn't listen to the song, and so I'd run out of the room or run outside, and she'd have to come find me to be like, "Hey, this theme song's up. You're gonna miss the show if you don't fucking come back."
Sometimes it was worse than the show itself, you know.
Yeah. I still think about the theme song and I feel uneasy. Like I don't like it. It's a good theme song, but
that's a terrifying show for a kid because it introduces you to so many scary ideas.
Yeah.
When you're still forming your like identity of yourself and what you believe and what you don't believe.
Yeah.
So especially like I was terrified I was going to be abducted by aliens.
Oh yeah.
From watching that show.
Yeah.
Because that show, along with another great gateway horror from that time period, Fire in the Sky.
Yes.
Movies about alien abduction were fucking terrifying because it suggested that you could just get plucked anywhere, anytime. Yeah, because a lot of time people on those shows were just fucking laying in bed and zoop, and then boof, fucking bright light, zoof out the fucking window.
And that was such a thing during that time. I don't know what the world was so hot and horny about aliens for in the early 90s, but yeah, I remember a lot of that. I remember being so spooked by the idea of abduction and aliens.
Well, yeah,
It hasn't happened yet that I know of.
Well, it's like, who's going to protect you if that's really a thing that can happen? Who's going to protect you?
It is. You didn't know it can happen. You can get picked up by the spooks anytime, anywhere, any time of day.
Someone needs to call the bounty hunters now.
Yeah, they're out there.
Disappeared, chucked into the back of a van.
Yep.
Might not be aliens.
They're not be aliens.
Might just be guys in black masks.
They're looking for aliens, but
X-Files. Oh yeah, so there's a couple X-Files episodes I wanted to mention for sure.
oh yeah.
The top of the heap is Home.
Okay.
We did talk about that on
The Texas Chainsaw episode.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, we talked about that. That's the creepy one with the inbred family hiding out in the
Yeah,
fuck that
raping
one's
their
bad.
mom under the bed, and
God, that one's bad.
that's so fucked that they cut her legs off so she
Mhm.
can't run away, and then they
Mhm.
keep her on like a mechanic's roller under the bed.
Yeah, pull her out, have sex with her, roll her back,
Create the next
Yeah.
inbred baby.
or food source or whatever they're doing up there.
Man,
Yeah,
that's
that's a
nasty.
gross one.
That's nasty. Did you know they banned that from TV for?
I'm not
like-
surprised.
I think it was banned from TV for like 20 years after it first aired
Wild.
wow.
because Fox got so many complaints
I was
about
gonna
it.
say, can you imagine airing that on television and people don't know what the fuck they're getting? It's not like there wasn't an internet around to spoil it for people before it even came out because someone saw leaked footage or some shit. You know what I mean? So families that have been watching this show for however long at this point are sitting down to family supper to watch their X-Files, and it's like that one comes on and you're sitting there eating supper with your mom and your pops and your brother or your sister. Yeah.
And that was like 90 somewhere. It was 94, 95, or 96.
It was later in the
was-
series.
It was later in the series,
Yeah.
but still pretty.
still early.
Yeah, still pretty like
Mhm.
mid 90s. That's a fucking terrifying thing to see on TV.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot. Mid-90s TV.
And the dead babies buried on the baseball field. That's
Mhm.
what. That's how the episode starts. That's what
Mhm.
starts the investigation. Those kids are playing baseball, and one of them trips over a fucking baby's skull that they were
Right.
burying. They're burying them in the under the baseball field.
So bad.
I didn't realize how Angels in the Outfield became a movie.
And then there's Tombs. Tombs was another one. The guy who could squeeze through everything.
Okay, that's the other one that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, he had 2 different episodes, and he was scary as shit because he could squeeze him
Anyway,
himself
or
through
anytime.
almost anything.
It was him going through the vent and under the cracks of the doors and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because when you're a kid, it's like you close your door and you're safe. Nothing can come through. My fucking door's closed.
not that
Right?
motherfucker.
Nope.
Nothing's closed when you're that guy.
He's coming through Kyle's vents right now.
Oh, he's coming through all of my vents, baby.
The fluke worm. The fluke worm was another one too. That fucking
That one I hated that.
the one that lived in the thing that lived in the sewer.
Yeah, that was a weird one. I don't remember it quite as well. What else is there? I mean, X-Files is chocked full of them. There's some weird ones. Not because it was scary, but maybe because it was bad. But there's the one with the kid that controlled bees. I remember being put off by that one. Not the booze.
You can't see with those glasses.
I remember thinking that one was a little rough too.
Oh wait, you guys were quoting Wicker Man. I went straight to My Girl.
Yeah, they both involve. They're both stupid movies involving bees.
Yeah, My Girl. That's gateway horror right there.
Yeah. He can't see with his glasses. Yeah, I mean, I guess is there any other big X-Files ones? I think those are the main ones that I
Could go on all day long, but those are ones I remember. The forest one is the one I remember most.
I remember later on in the series they did that really cool one about vampires, and it was like a Cops episode.
Oh,
Like it was shot. It was like the crew from Cops
Cool.
following Mulder and Scully around.
yeah.
So it was like a found footage episode.
Interesting.
I don't remember that one.
I
at all.
don't.
Yeah, cool.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch X Files.
Yeah, very cool.
Fuck that. Actually, that show's worth rewatching. It's
Absolutely, yeah. I definitely rewatched the entire thing at least.
Well, I
as
haven't.
an adult.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to watch more of the Outer Limits because some of those episodes were absolutely stellar. It was kind of doing Black Mirror before Black Mirror was even a thought. The remake Outer Limits was doing a lot of, early 90s tech stuff.
Yeah.
With computers, with AI, with robotics, all kinds of weird stuff. Not so much AI as we know it now, but the idea of what it may have been early 90s. I think there was at least one episode with a robot girlfriend, which I mean is kind of a staple. You have to have that episode in there somewhere if you're doing a horror TV show. But tons of good ones, tons of techie stuff.
It seems like later Doctor Who also did kind of the same thing that Elder Limitless did.
Yep, they totally, man.
Which some of the Doctor Who stuff, like the Christmas special with Matt Smith, that fucking episode's terrifying.
There's some really good Doctor Who episodes that are definitely horrorcore based.
Well, even the Weeping Angel.
That's
That's a huge one, right? Yeah.
And they've been in the series for I think
Forever.
since the beginning, since it was the original Doctor when it wasn't
Since
even
like the
called Doctor Who.
60s, yeah. Those things have been in there since then. So I'm not even a big Doctor Who fan.
No.
Even I know that.
And they've also done the very much similar to, is it Twilight Zone that has the pig-faced people? They did cat-faced people in Doctor Who. Very, very similar. It's very much clearly a play on it, but also pretty damn cool, which was so spooky.
That's a great example of like the subversiveness of horror. I think it's like the monsters on Main Street, or is that a different one? I can't remember. I think the one you're talking about is Beauty's in the Eye of the Beholder.
That's what it is. Yes, that's what
the monsters on Main Street is a analogy of the Red Scare. I think like everybody's selling each other out, saying they're communists and everything.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what that one was about.
Monsters on Main Street.
Yeah, I think that's what the hook of that one was. That was another really big episode.
Okay, like there's so many good Twilight Zone episodes. Even the movie for Twilight Zone was fun, but it wasn't. They just remade everything, and
yeah, just some of the most popular ones. But again, that's like one of the most notorious stories in Hollywood is how that helicopter crashed on Twilight Zone, the movie, and killed 2 children.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like there's like a scene where a guy's running with 2 kids under his arms or something, or in his hands or whatever, and there's a helicopter doing the helicopter shot, and I believe the helicopter is also in the scene chasing them,
and it crashed.
And it crashed and killed
and hit the
actors.
actors.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Wait, and they kept that kept the actors in the movie?
Yeah,
good shot.
Oh fuck!
It was a good shot. God, can't waste their fucking money. Someone spent money on all that, Brady.
Oh, the
producers
in the helicopter.
Yeah. Producers and the money guys, they can't afford a second helicopter.
We spent all that money putting that guy on the airplane in a rubber suit.
Yeah.
We can't waste any money.
No.
Yeah, that's one of those notorious cursed horror movies.
Oh, like those
stories.
Brandon Lee.
Yeah, like The Crow, The Exorcist, Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Another one that I know for sure, Kyle, is I can't remember. Brady, you're a Buffy guy, are you?
Oh, I love Buffy.
I thought so. Okay.
I like Angel just a slight bit better.
I like the Angel a
But
little better.
I did love Buffy.
Angel was darker,
Yeah.
which was cool.
But also, it was much further on in the series timeline. Like, they'd been doing it for a while by that point. So it's, we're not here to compare Buffy to Angel, but both of those shows kick out.
They're both fantastic.
But let's let Mike gush for a second. Mike gushes all over Buffy, all over the.
Oh, Buffy's you should have seen teenage Mike gushing all over Buffy, buying those magazines.
Yeah, every magazine with Sarah Michelle Gellar on the cover.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
13-year-old Mike was taking those home. Don't worry about
You and probably 1 or 2 other teenage boys out there.
Oh, yeah.
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 Fuck, that show was good, though.
Well, again, speaking of which, I mean, this is it's kind of a dead horse at this point, but just the analogies of that show, that everything on that show was an analogy for something else.
Yeah.
You could totally watch it on the surface level. Because that's how the first time I watched that entire series, I didn't pick up on any of the nuance of it.
Too young. A lot of what you're talking about is analogies for life, for being older. It's on the flip side of that, or on the deeper surface level, like you're saying. On the surface, just a bunch of high school kids are
Fighting monsters and shit, right?
Yeah. They're doing the Scooby-Doo thing, but with more action than mystery. But they do solve mysteries.
Oh yeah, they do. It's just what I thought was so cool about that show was just that the villains were so 3-dimensional too.
Yeah.
Like the villain, there were just like bwaha, I'm evil. Like the master is basically your bwaha, I'm evil.
Yeah, but a lot of the villains had as much screen time and character development as everyone else.
Yeah, they really took the time every season to build up like Angel's villain arc in season 2.
Yeah,
and the introduction of Spike, and then the mayor in season 3. Man, like there's so many great villains.
And it's cool. It's cool to see an anthology horror TV show like that, where it runs continuously. And now we have shows like Supernatural, and I'm sure there's other ones that I can't think about.
I think you mean serialized.
That's what I mean.
Anthology is like every episode's its own thing.
Not that. There's tons of those. The opposite of that one.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. It's mostly because it's horror, and I still think it's horror, especially in the earlier 90s. It would have been so
Well, I think that was
That's so niche.
that was like the first really popular show, like genre show, like in a long time. Like you'd had your Star Treks and your Doctor Who's and stuff.
Well, that's what I'm.
But it had been a long gap since you'd had like a really a show that was like creepy. I get, like, aside from the X-Files, like I guess it more started with the X-Files, but the thing with Buffy is it made it cool because it was all teenagers watching that show.
Yes, it was for the younger crowd for sure.
So
Yeah.
It was also like if you were an adult too, you could enjoy the show.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, it was based for teenagers.
Yeah.
But like anyone could watch it. Like I watched it as a young child.
Yeah.
Because you guys are a lot older than me. But
well, I was pretty young when I first watched it. I missed I missed so much of the symbolism in that show. Like, for instance, her and Angel sleeping together, and then Angel literally becoming a different person. It's like the metaphor, right? After we slept together, he became a completely different person. Well, he literally becomes a different person.
Yeah. He just wants to suck.
Yeah. Speaking of Buffy, Giles actor just passed away.
Oh, man, 3 in 1 year, man.
Yeah.
Michelle Trachtenberg, Nicholas Brendon, and Anthony Stewart Head.
What was
all in like the
was
last.
Trachtenberg last year?
Yeah, that's what we have. In like
a little over 1 year.
Yeah, and a little over like a year and a half, we lost like three central cast members of that show, man.
Yikes.
That's brutal. And Michelle Trachtenberg was way too young.
Oh yeah,
she's like 32, man.
Yeah, that's too bad.
She was in a movie called Monkey Trouble, which was one of my favorite movies. It always came in cereal boxes when you could get DVDs in cereal boxes.
She was Harriet the Spy as well.
That was another one that came in cereal boxes.
Yeah,
and also The Mask.
And then when the cereal boxes were empty, Brady came in the cereal.
boxes.
Yeah.
Actually, I think me and her are around the same age. I think she might be slightly older than me. By at least
not anymore.
Well, no,
you're winning that race.
You beat her.
Yeah. Buffy, anyway, Buffy was just a revelation. Just a revelation because, again, like it built these, the villains were sometimes the best part of the show.
Yeah.
And the heroes were so conflicted, and they all had their demons they had to face. Everybody almost everybody kind of goes through a villain arc at one point.
Yeah.
And Angel would go on to do the same thing, especially the Angel versus Wesley villain arc in season 3. When Wesley gets the prophecy that Angel's going to kill his baby,
right?
And he starts plotting to kill Angel before Angel can kill his baby and stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's awesome.
Lots of good Buffy.
Oh yeah.
When they kind of went more into like the drama thing with like Anya and her husband, was Anya the demon or was she? No, Anya was the demon. Yeah,
with Xander.
She was marrying Xander in like the wedding, and she wants to become human and stuff. I like that stuff.
Season 6 was the darkest. It also has probably the worst episodes in the series. But it's like the darkest the series ever gets.
Yeah,
especially the final arc where Willow goes bad after Buffy and Tara get shot.
She gone bad.
That was rank, man. The one guy who gets the closest to fucking wiping them out, he was just a dude with a gun.
Crazy. Yeah.
Just shoots Buffy and then shooting up in the air as he goes away. And then Tara and Willow are talking in the bedroom, and Tara's blood just shoots out of her chest and hits Willow.
Fuck.
Oh man, that show was great.
I liked when Willow went dark, but they don't explain that she went to band camp and became dark.
That joke made me go dark.
She wanted to be that one time at Zand camp.
20 years too late, but we're cranking them out anyway.
Hey, kids.
20 years, you wish it was 20. 30 years too late.
Ask your uncle about Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Anyway, yeah, Buffy was probably the most formative show of my teenage years.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is one of the things that turned me into a horror fan the most, because it was one of those shows that was just spooky enough. Kind of like Are You Afraid of the Dark? It was like just spooky enough to kind of get your hackles up a bit, but not so scary that you're going to be terrified.
Right.
Really.
Yeah. See, I didn't get access to things like Are You Afraid of the Dark or Goosebumps until later in life. So by the time I got to watch those, they weren't doing much for me. I already had the good drugs. Going down to the baby drugs wasn't quite cutting it anymore. You know what I mean? Going from Tales of the Crypt and Alfred Hitchcock down to something like Are You Afraid of the Dark? I liked it because it was more horror, but it was too childish for me.
I'm the opposite way, so I didn't see Tales from the Crypt or any of those shows. I seen Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark, Tales from the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
And then I graduated to stronger stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, holy shit, where has this been my entire
Yeah.
childhood?
Yeah.
But I still love Goosebumps and Are You
Oh,
Afraid
me
of the
too.
Dark and Tales from the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah.
Just because they're like they campy cheese that is so much fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
But as a young child, that scares the shit out of you.
Yeah, it's enough.
Well, one of those weird things about the Tales from the Crypt Keeper show was that it was so obvious that it was written by people who are like 50 years old.
Yeah.
Like what later on in life, because remember how many like Buster Keaton references?
There's so many of
And
this.
I'm like
Yeah.
9 years old. I don't know
Nobody
what the
knows
fuck
what the
Buster
fuck that
Keaton
is.
is, man.
But tons of shows do that, you know.
Yeah.
They know the adults are sitting there stuck watching that shit with
Yeah.
their kids, and they put it in there for us.
So you know, some like mom or dad in the 90s are like, ha,
Yeah,
Buster Keaton.
absolutely.
I remember that guy and his wacky slapstick comedy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was Magic School Bus for horror fans.
It was a horror, and
So that's very apt.
it's a horror anthology show.
Mm-hmm.
Nailed it.
The next thing I want to ask you guys is, what was your first real scary horror movie that you watched?
I think I was actually just talking with Brady, and it may not be my first. Okay, actually, you know what? Let's do my first. But there's one I remember that scared me more than most as a younger person, as a teenager. The first one I can think of is probably a movie called Troll, which I think the sequel to that has become infamous over the years. So some of you might not know Troll, but you probably know Troll 2. But the one I remember, and I was talking to Brady about this, was I remember being scared shitless of the Mothman prophecies. I remember being, when that would have came out, somewhere between
97 or something?
Yeah, I was going to say somewhere in my 11, 12, 13 range, something like that. Don't quote me. Who cares? I remember having to walk home from my friend's house in the dark, and I was the only one walking home in that direction, so I had to go by myself after watching that movie.
I remember those
weeks, man. Holy fuck, was that the worst walk home of my life. Good God, Lord, was I scared of everything. There was something like, the guy was looking at a bridge, and it was like red lights, right? So it was just the warning lights they put on tall things for aircraft. But I remember seeing those up in the sky on my walk home because there was some of those nearby, and I remember thinking like, "Oh my fucking God, it's gonna get me!" So,
Well, I remember the Jersey Devil scared the shit out of me as a kid. I used to
Yeah.
I read a lot of like urban legends and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
yeah, me too.
And I remember the Jersey Devil. There was like an artist rendering of it in one of the books I read, and I was
Yeah.
like, Jesus Christ! If I saw that thing, my soul would leave my body instantly.
How about you, Brady?
So I don't remember this. My mom will tell this story better than I will, but when I was 3, her and her special friend were watching Child's Play.
How many special friends did she have, Brady? No, just
Too many, Mom. Too many.
I was gonna say, not enough. Never enough.
All right, and I guess I walked out, and Chucky, being my size, scared the shit out of me.
And he's got red hair.
And he's-
Yeah.
I don't have red hair. I'm blonde.
Right.
Everyone thinks I've got red hair.
Blonde with red undertones.
Yes, thank you, Kyle.
Strawberry blonde.
So well.
Yeah,
Is that what that is?
I'm dirty blonde, but
Almost like.
Oh, he's the dirtiest blonde.
I just want a dirty fucking blonde. Yeah.
but like I was so infatuated with coming back out and watching the movie that my mom's just like, fuck, just watch the movie.
Yeah.
And then Tremors was the first one that got me into
How could I forget?
monster movies and like
Trevor?
Tremors.
This is Trevor's.
Trevor did it.
I'm like, how many guys named Trevor did your mom bring home?
Too bad.
Tremors was golden hail.
Oh, so good.
That's a good one.
Just even Kevin Bacon's just
Yeah.
fuck
Yeah. Yep.
so fucking good.
So good.
And like that's what got me into like monster movies. I love monster movies a little bit more than the serious serial killer
Mm-hmm.
stuff, or like stuff that I know you're more into, like the more realism and like or even like the Antichrist stuff.
Yeah.
And you're into
But
the
artsy.
side by side. I like the monsters. I like getting
Creature features.
Yeah.
I don't hate creature features. I don't know if anyone hates creature features in this room, but yeah, you're definitely a creature feature guy, aren't you? You like them
Comedies are errs towards comedy horror and cheese.
Yeah.
Like more than we do. Yeah,
Loves that
for
cheese.
I got that from being a Power Rangers fan.
Yeah.
So
okay.
giant monsters,
Yeah.
also Godzilla. Like I was a huge Godzilla nerd as a kid. I still am, but like having the mixture of people in costumes fight monsters,
Yeah.
and then fight them on their giant. That is on all boats. That I was on that shit.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
monster fighting, giant robots. What's not the dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs,
What's not the like? Boy. Yeah. For my part, I would say probably Scream was my first real horror
Nice.
movie. I'd seen horror movies before that,
Yeah.
but not like a real, honest to goodness, bloody, scary horror movie.
Yeah.
And that was one of those movies that was like, it hit like the zeitgeist in the mid 90s.
Hell yeah.
Which that was before I didn't even understand the all the slasher tropes.
Mm.
That was my introduction to them.
Yeah.
But then as I went back and watched movies like Halloween and Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
You know, I've honestly, we've done a lot of gateway horrors from my childhood, like watching like The Blob.
Event Horizon.
Yeah, Event Horizon was really Maximum Fury. Is that what it is? The truck, not Maximum Fury.
Maximum Overdrive.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. Maximum Overdrive.
yeah.
yeah.
Also, great Stephen King movie.
I also remember because the Stand, the first miniseries of The Stand, came out early in the, I think it was
Like
mid 90s.
something.
Yeah, so I remember watching that. I would have only been 5 or 6 or 7 at that time. That was a big fucking show. There was another movie called The Langoliers, also I believe
That's
Stephen
the one on
King.
the plane, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so tons of those.
It was also
Stephen
another
King
one that was
movies.
always on TV, but it was
Mhm.
also that was my first introduction to Stephen King.
The original Pet Cemetery. Man, so many good ones.
I started with like when I first started reading Stephen King, it was The Stand that I started with, which is
That's huge.
such a fucking pretty high bar.
yeah,
And
good
also
luck.
it was the uncut version, which is like contains some of the most disturbing things
Yes.
Stephen King's ever written. Like
Yeah. The Stand is like top tier shit. And that's not just his top tier shit. It's like really, really good.
that's like a top 10 book all time for
Yeah.
me, maybe even top 5.
I don't doubt it. That's a fucking good book.
Anne Rice got me was a really early horror thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
The Interview with the Vampire Lestat, that whole series. Anne Rice books were horny as shit.
They were. Yeah.
Everybody's fucking everybody.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Bro,
a
I'm fucking and sucking in here.
yeah, basically. I mean, it's almost nobody's actually having sex. It's usually like a metaphor.
was just because they're vampires.
Yeah, it's like they're sucking each other's blood, but it's all everybody's
sex.
everybody's naked, rubbing up on each other,
Where are
and
they getting the blood from?
Penises.
yeah. Oh my god. Okay, skip ahead a little bit if you're squeamish. But one of those books had a scene where a vampire eats out a girl on her period
Fuck yeah, I do that all the time.
and drinks.
Fuck.
Yeah, she lets these two guys take turns eating her out, and they're
I'm
both
scared.
vampires.
Yeah.
So they're just drinking the blood out of her pussy while she's having a great time. Yeah, it's
Well,
there was weird sex shit in those books,
You
man.
can call me the count.
Did she just to create a whole new vampire lore where they don't have to fight people?
Mm-hmm.
Technically,
That's safe. That's safe consumption. Yeah. It's some consumption site.
everybody wins, man. Everybody's
wins.
leaving happy.
Yep. The ladies don't need to worry about leakage, and the vampires are fed.
Yeah, everybody's
It's a win-win-win.
Everybody's going home happy.
Yeah.
It's what they call a symbiotic relationship.
Ooh.
I can see the
Aren't they
commercial for
all?
Vampex.
You fucking piece of shit. That's a good one though. Oh yeah, and then I know what you did last summer was the other one. Those were the
That was a big one.
because that
too,
was
eh?
right after Scream. That was
Yeah.
Kevin Williamson's next movie.
Yeah.
So those were like that. I happened to be about 11 years old in the 11, 12, like that
Fair.
range when those movies are coming out. And yeah, like that was my wake up call to horror because
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore gets fucking gutted
True.
in the start of that movie. Like Drew Barrymore's death scene is fucking terrifying.
Oh yeah.
See, even back then, it wasn't that shit that bothered me. I was never bothered by that shit. It's the scary, spooky shit in the corners that bothered me. It still is. It's just weird that it's so different for everyone, you know? I had that. I love that so much.
Yeah, it was like her boyfriend getting gutted in front of her because she couldn't answer the question properly.
Right.
And then, the guy, Ghostface, busting through the window and chasing her.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's slow motions as he stabs her right
Oh.
in like the chest.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he fucking drags her out back and strings her up with the swing set for her parents when they get home.
Fucking awesome shit.
I don't mean to harp on the newer, like the sequels to Scream, but that movie is phenomenal. Wes Craven did such a good job with that movie.
Yeah, after the third one, I was done because the third one sucked ass, man. The third one is like one of the most, because I love the first two.
Mm.
And that third one was just like, for starters, it was 14A.
Yeah.
which is a
Why?
big problem because it was those first movies were 18A.
Yeah.
They were gruesome and
Mhm.
grim and nasty.
They
So
were.
for the movie to end your trilogy being The Tamest,
Yeah.
that's the worst thing you can possibly do.
I mean, they were famous because they were so goddamn rough out of the gate.
Yeah,
You know, and like by rough, I mean, like you said, like the kills were obscene.
yeah, there were some
Nasty.
nasty
Yeah.
fucking kills.
The absolute, maybe not the absolute, but some of the best slasher kills, probably still to this day in some regards.
Certainly from the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly from the 90s. Even Jada Pinkett's death in at the start of the second one.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Where she's killed in the theater with all the people around and they think it's a publicity stunt.
Right.
I also love that they have a whole movie inside of the movie. Like
Stab, yeah.
Stab, but like it's got the same character names
Mhm.
and the same ghost face, but
And recurring in-joke throughout the movies.
which is funny. I know it's supposed to be more of a tongue-in-cheek horror movie,
Yeah.
but it's still a fucking good horror.
It still punches.
Yeah, it's not a
It's just-
blatant just making fun of like what Scary Movie does.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's kind of like, you know, we did Evil Dead 2, and we're talking about how different it was compared to Evil Dead. And it's like it still packs a punch. Or if we talk about the third installment, Army of Darkness, compared to Scream 3, it's like both of those.
We'll never talk about
We'll never talk about Army of Darkness. Both of those are horror movies that are very tongue-in-cheek, very aware of what they're doing, and really playing up that bullshit side of it, but are both still awesome fucking movies. Not in spite, maybe not because of, but just because they're doing both and hitting both quite well.
Yeah.
well, even the first Evil Dead movie
Mhm.
is a good movie.
Yeah, it just suffers from being low budget, but it's still a good
Yeah.
movie. But like Scream, coming out with Scream, I mean, it's not like it's his first shot or anything, but that was such a big start.
Well, it was it was like a return because we were talking about this in the Nightmare on Elm Street episode. And yeah, if you guys, the next time you guys watch Scream, man, you'll notice like they're so like it's like a 1-to-1. The opening of Nightmare on Elm Street versus the opening of Scream.
You know, I never
It's
did
almost
go-
like a 1-to-1.
Yeah, maybe I'll check that out. I never did ever go look and see that. I'd like to watch those and just, you know, back to back and see how close they are. It's like you were saying before you kind of jumped onto your next thought of return to form, and you know, and it's just, you can tell it's someone re-entering the world they started in and just wanting to try again and just have fun with it.
Well, and it's his like return because it's like after Nightmare on Elm Street, a lot of his stuff wasn't that good. A lot of his stuff in the mid to late 80s wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Like the Electric Chair movie. Was Serpent at the Rainbow? Was that him as well?
Yeah, sir. Yeah,
That was like whatever.
These
People
are-
Under the Stairs.
I think People Under the Stairs is a very underrated movie, but I wouldn't even really class it as just strictly horror. It's more of a
It's like Home Alone, but if like you actually thought Kevin might die in that movie.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I want that.
shoot. What episode did we talk
Got a leather daddy chasing kids around for some reason. Yeah, I mean that more or less wraps me up as far as I'm concerned. After that it was Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street on Scream TV. Just whatever I could catch on Scream TV as a kid.
Yeah.
And whatever I could catch late at night on Space Channel.
Space Channel was great for some of that shit. Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I just remember, like you were saying, like I would just go through and just about anything with a horror tag on it that was on TV or I could get my hands on when I was young, I would watch. Yeah, a lot of that was like just cruising cable TV once we got cable and just seeing what was on the scary channels.
Yeah.
No matter what it was.
It was that and good old mom and pop video stores where they didn't care what you're fighting.
I remember seeing like Children of the Corn. I can do another early Stephen King one.
You could walk out with Subway Showgirls, man. Yeah. You could be 10 years old and just grab a copy of Showgirls.
Whatever you want.
Bring your $2 up to the till and boom, out the door you go.
Just be kind and rewind.
Yeah.
Back in the good old days, hey?
Just the tape worn out in like all the same spots.
The rewind and play, rewind and play.
The lines.
Yeah,
The lines on the screen.
The Regina Public Library
Mm.
had a horror section for movies and horror movies and the kids section too. So I like Under the Basement, or not Under the Basement, under the Bed.
The Foundation.
Movies like Under the Bed, which is like Disney's their scariest kids horror movie,
Yeah.
or in a Scared Stupid.
Heck yeah.
But then they had the adult section, which my mom had her at. But like that's where a lot of my basis from like the campy cheesy shit I like came from the library, because like
The adult
people growing
stuff.
up, so it's like yeah,
Yeah.
oh cool, movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, read this.
Yeah.
My mom is also a detriment to me becoming who I am because of horror movies. Shut up, Mom.
Aren't they all, hey?
Yeah. No, some of my favorite memories as a kid are going to Blockbusters or Rogers or the library and renting movies and just watching with my mom.
Well, I guess that more or less wraps us up for our episode on Gateway Horror. Now we're going to send it over to Mr. Kyle Mickleborough to tell us what movie we're watching next time.
Whoa. Maybe we should watch Army of Darkness.
That's fucking sweet.
That's what we're going to do.
That's what I'm down with that. I mean, that is...
I can't not watch it after watching Evil Dead 2.
Well, we might
have to finish.
We may have even dropped a light reference earlier on.
We might have even dropped a foreshadowing piece. You'll have to look real close for it, but you'll find it.
It's an audio podcast.
You gotta go.
That's why you have to look close.
Yeah, you gotta turn on 0.25 and then listen really close, and you'll hear it.
Keep your ears. You might have to play it more times. You might have to play it multiple times.
Anyway, until next week when we are coming back to see Ash Williams
Hail
a bunch
to the
of
king, baby.
a bunch of motherfucking skeletons. We will see you in
7 days.
And until then,
Keep your eyes open.
and Hail to the king, as Kyle said.
Hail to the king, baby.
Ah,